A friend, Tarrik Brock, yours truly in hot Los Angeles, Mark Mancini. Tarrik, first things first, how are you this morning? And all the great sponsors that keep coming to move us to the high standard here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing well on a beautiful Friday morning in the Burgh where we're expecting a high in the low 80s today. Hopefully, the humidity will be down, so we'll have a great day before taking on the Cincinnati Reds again at PNC Park tonight at 6:40. But again, this show is brought to you by our proud sponsors who help the show be what it is. And so I'm going to start off with R&D Strategies, man. Thank you. You guys are awesome. 412 Sports Ministries is a blessing. They're out in California right now. So that's good. BRG Baseball Resource Group. Just will have a great weekend this weekend. My home gym in Tarzana, California, the Cardio Grind. And I can't forget how I get around here. BMW of Pittsburgh and Mini Cooper of Pittsburgh. Thank you guys so much. And today is True Victory Friday.
Yeah.
Get you some. So thank you to True Victory, Jason, Kristen, and Mike Butler over there. Thank you guys so much, man. But a lot to talk about. Like it's a action-packed weekend in sports.
Yes, there's everything. You got preseason football going. You got Vrabel getting in the mix with the Commanders and Patriots. Man, we could talk about that. We could talk about the handshakes in baseball, how you got to get them things down to a timing. Which Pirate will win a Steeler game with a field goal? That's an interesting one. But first things first, Brian Hayes came back to town, and we were talking in the pre-chat. Looks like he got some new shoes now. He got rid of the gold ones to match the Reds uniform.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pair of shoes that was sitting in our clubhouse, leader's office, and I was just been looking at him like, what are we gonna do? Just like not really, putting two and two together that he's gonna be coming back, and that he'll just pick them up there. And so when I saw him on his feet last night, I said, man, I've been looking at these shoes for the last 4 days, so it's like I'm glad that you have them now. But it was good to have him back and compete against him. That's what the game is. It's like no matter who's on the other side, like you're just competing, just having a good time, playing or coaching the game that you enjoy to do.
Yeah, kind of hard getting drafted by the team and then moving on to Cincinnati, but it must have been a nice reunion of sorts before the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Like you've been with a guy for the last 5 years, going on 6 years, and then now he's on the other side. So you got to get used to seeing him in different color uniform, seeing him from a different perspective. Last night was weird because that was the first time I actually have been in the dugout while he was hitting. So that was a different perspective and look. But in the end, we wish him, well, that he has a good career over there. Cincinnati is a really good ballpark to hit in. And so, we just look to watching them play and defeating them tonight on the field, him and his team.
Yeah. Hey, did you reminisce a little with Gavin Lux?
You know what? Gavin Lexner and I are going to talk today, but I mean, we're always bantering during the game. So I enjoy seeing and, just having nice conversations, during the game with Gavin.
Yeah. And Terry Francona on the other side. I remember I talked to him way back in the day when I was doing radio in San Diego. Great guy. And, man, he's turned the Reds around a little there.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that they're playing with a different level of ease and comfort, right? You can see him calming down, and you're like, how do I judge that? I judge it off of seeing how Ellie is. He's like business on the field, business off the field. He's moving a little bit different, calming down. So I think that's really good from there. And it's good, also to see Tito, walking on and off the field, not being in the cast like he was the last couple of years. He's moving good. He's looking real good. Got good skin color going to him right now. So it's really cool to see, and it's good for our game and for the Reds.
Hey, who would win a one-on-one first one to 21 or hoop in basketball between O'Neal and Ellie? They both look like brothers.
Right, but I don't know. I don't know if they can shoot though. That might be the thing. They might have to just do like a game of layups and just to see what happens. But it would be interesting to see.
Man, oh man!
Here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Before the game, they were standing next to each other in the national anthem. Like you don't really see how big O'Neal is until you line him up next to another guy that's big. You're like, that is ridiculous. The size of that man.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, the guy I think is going to really break out for the Pirates the next couple months, and even in the next year is Gonzalez. Man, I love that kid.
You know, he's our swinger, man. Like if you throw a ball and it's over the plate in any shape, form, or fashion, or any pitch, like he is taking a whack at it, man. Like he doesn't see a pitch that he doesn't like that's over the strike zone. So it's like he always has a hitter's chance while he's up there, man. So it's fun to watch him.
Yeah, Skeen's 4-0 against the Reds in his career. You know, I look at it this: who cares if he gave up the 7 hits, got the shutout, and man, oh man, Loader's ERA to 1.94. Man, oh man, I'm gonna hang my hat on this guy to take it. I know it's still early, but I like the resume he's put together, and I think the Cy Young's coming.
Yeah, he's definitely making a strong case. His record now, he pulled it up to, one game, from being 500. I think that's a huge thing for him. He wants to do. And then also, to have, career 33 strikeouts to only 2 walks against the Reds is a really good thing too. Just shows that the game plan that he has against them is really good. And, pitching well, especially, having pitched in their ballpark, which we know is a hitter's ballpark there. To do what he's doing is very special. And we just like to see him, keep going because we have one more series against them towards the end of the year in
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
that's good. The last 3 games of this series, what are you looking for to take the Reds out and then head to Milwaukee come Monday?
Right. It's just before and yesterday's pre-series meeting, I told the guys like this is a series of like who can focus on and win the fine details. Okay, so for us, the fine details look like, competing and pushing on balls in the dirt. It is going first to third, right? It is taking any extra 90 that you can against this team here, right? And then on defensively, outfielders taking deeper angles because these guys can run and you want to cut the ball and keep it that's on the ground, that's rolling on the ground, to keep it from getting to the fence. That's really huge and important there. For our pitching staff, mix your looks and your holes because these guys, are opportunists and they will run. Like those are the things that are huge. Our defense, like we're just still having a high expectation that we just play really good defense. And you saw that, last night in some of the plays that was made on the infield and O'Neill Cruz running the right center field gap and running down the ball that Jose Trevino hit. And then for our pitchers, pitching the contact and getting guys, out the box, in 4 pitches or less so that our starters can go longer in the game. And whatever team, that pays attention to finer details better than another, is the one that's going to come out with the victory.
Yeah, and you got Brady Singer. How tough is it? You've been around the game a lot. I've always said the National League, a pitcher can go to the American League and playing a lot of those 3-2 small ball games might have an advantage. I don't know going the other way from the American League to the National League. Is there a difference? I know the DH plays a big part in everything over the years and stuff, and but with the National League pitchers, I think there's a bit of an advantage if they go to the American League more so than the American League coming the other way. Any thought on that?
Yeah, so I would definitely say that, like, if you were a pitcher that's in the Central and you're going to the the American League East, like you're dealing with sluggers, you're
Yeah,
dealing with teams that are built to put the ball in the seats. The Yankees, Toronto. So like from that to this, like our division right here, there's not going to be too many teams that's going to beat you with 5 home runs,
right.
one night. So you got to deal with controlling the running game. You got to deal with holding the ball a little bit longer, going from there. You go out west now. If you're in the American League, Central, and then you going out west and you contending with the Dodgers who bang the Giants, who are banging. Then you got to deal with Arizona, right, where those guys can strike, really quick, and then with their base running. So I think it's different. The gap has definitely got a little bit closer than what it was because the National League pitchers had to pitch and hit. And then when you just go to the American League, you're just focusing on pitching. So now that we all play each other, once a year, like that gap is starting to get smaller. So you just got to get used to different pitching in different ballparks.
Yeah, and when you look at it, the average fan might look at the Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, these big market ball clubs, but they better keep an eye on the Brewers there. The Brewers have been banging the bats too, and it reminds me of 1982 with Bambi's Brewers, with all those guys they had with Cecil Cooper and Yout and all those guys. You see them up close a lot, and you'll see them Monday, and we'll talk about it Monday. But Freddie Peralta and the Brewers could be dangerous come playoff time.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And so you got Freddie Peralta. Now you throw in, Mr. Woodruff, who's back and is pitching really well. When the Miz comes back from, the IL, I mean, they got really good pitching. And they're very athletic. They put the ball in play, they bunt, they hit and run, and they run the base as well. I mean, it's what you want a team to be. So we're gonna face them soon. The next 2 weeks for us is a gauntlet. We get to see where we at. Where we got the Reds, we got the Brewers, we
Yeah,
got the Cubs, and then we got the guys from up north and the
yeah,
Blue Jays all coming in.
yeah,
So it's just what Major League Baseball is. Like every night is a test. It's a different test. And so it's like, you just accept that challenge. So we got a huge one, tonight. We get Burns either tonight or tomorrow. We get Nick Martinez, an old foe who, man, like every time we find them, we play them, he's always in the rotation. And then we got Zach Littell, a guy that we've seen before with the Rays. So every night poses a challenge.
yeah. And not only that, you get the Jays in a couple weeks, but you get home from the game, you probably just want to wind down. But if you have time, you can turn on the tube and watch the game from 3,000 miles away, 2,500 probably to be exact, and look at the Jays and pick up stuff in that game that you can utilize for your team when you play them.
Yeah, I mean, some nights you try to watch the game as a fan,
Yeah,
first and foremost, because most of the stuff that we'll really chew into or dig into will be stuff that we'll do at the field. So you just kind of watch it. So I just think, just seeing what the game is like, seeing the flow, because that's something that's important. What's the team's, game flow? The other thing that you pay attention to is like, do they get on and off the field, pretty quick. Cause like when Paul Skeens pitched, like I'm like taking 2 steps off the field and he's already jumping over the line. It's like, whoa, like we got to speed that up, which I think is really good from there. And just seeing, what did they do against, like you're watching the pitcher and you're going like, okay, they got Glass now. Okay, who is he similar to on our staff? Just to see how things go from there. And just casually try and watch and try not to, work so much at
uh,
home.
yeah. Calling the shot. Who do you got this weekend?
I am going to go with. Oh, this is a tough one. I was thinking I'm going to go with Nikki G. I think
Oh,
Nikki G is going to get off one tonight.
I think it's going to be Val Kilmer. Man, Brian Reynolds is going to jack him. So
Ooh.
I like Reynolds in this one. I will tell you, the handshake in baseball is down, and it looks like you and McCutcheon got that thing down to a serious formation. How tough is it to project that to get it down to that? And is there a lot of practice involved in
I actually, it's just like hey, we should do this, and let's add this, and Kutch and I have continuously just grew it more and more. I'm sure probably in the next a couple of weeks we'll add one more piece to it. Then you got Nick Gonzalez and I because we both like going to the range. We have
Yeah,
something that we do after he hits. Brian Reynolds and I because we're always bumping each other. We just bump into each other from there. You just kind of whatever you have as far as a relationship with the guy, you bring that out in the handshake, especially, being a first base coach, I get to congratulate a guy, almost first when they get on base. So we just try and do something, to just, bond right there because once they get the first, I'm going to need them to be the best base runners
yeah.
that they could be. And so that's another way to just connect and be able to celebrate something that is really hard to do in our sport, which is to hit a round ball at high velocity.
The Dodgers got that hula where they shake their behinds and to
Yeah,
the dugout. The
yeah.
Padre, I'll tell you one thing, the Padres got it down too. They got with Machado and Tatis after a home run or something with Bogarts and all those guys, they've got it down. I know, some of these other teams have it, with the fireman hat with the angels and stuff, the handshakes, man, some of them are really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. And like I said, man, like you're gonna celebrate when you do something, special, especially in our sport,
Yeah.
where hitting is down. And so you do something special, like hit a ball off the park, and you score a run or multiple runs. Like everybody gets to celebrate with that. And here's the other thing that we always say: it's a kids' game. So at some point in time, as grown men with kids get to do some kiddish things right there in the moment and celebrate, which is the coolest thing from there. But then also turning the page and knowing that you still got to compete, to the end as well.
Man, what Pirate could send the Steelers to a Super Bowl with a field goal?
Mm. So I saw some guys, because they throw the football every now and again. I've seen some guys kick. And the one guy that I saw that kicked the ball like pretty well, it was like, although he was punting it, was Mitch Keller. I mean, it was a nice spiral. It had some length to it. So I just think that if somebody can hold it and you give him, a couple, practice whacks at it, I think he could send the Steelers to the Super Bowl with the field goal kick.
You know who I'm going with? It might be crazy, but I'm going to go at the big first baseman, Horwitz.
That's a good one too. That is a good one too.
I like that kid a lot. As we wrap this up, I know Monday, I'll give you a hint what we're going to talk about. Besides recapping the Reds and previewing the Brewers, we'll talk about David Bednar saying thank you to Pittsburgh. That'll be a good one. We'll add a little more topics to it, but man, oh man, what a show! I'm blessed to do this with you, twice a week for 5 years going on, man. It's amazing, just simply amazing. Let everybody know how they can get a hold of you and the great sponsors that sponsor the show.
Yeah, so on TikTok and on Facebook, it's just first and last name TarrikBrock. Then you get into IG, it's first and last name, as I said, all one word, but then add in the SR because I do have a junior. And then when you get to X, it's TarrikSR. Man, another great
Yeah.
show, another great week of talking sports life. Uh, and everything else in between. Wishing everyone a blessed and happy weekend. Spend some time or call or send a I love you
Yeah.
text to your loved ones. Man, and just enjoy yourself.
Trying to get through the 3 birthdays this week. My mom turned 86 yesterday, and my oldest granddaughter, will turn 20 tomorrow. Jeez, what a week.
Man, that's awesome.
Hey,
Happy birthday.
yeah, and we'll add one more thing to the mix on Monday when we talk. Old dudes rule. Scherzer and Kershaw going at it today in Chavez Ravine.
Oh, that's a good matchup right
Yeah.
there. That is a good matchup. I might turn it on to watch that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty good there.
I'll definitely have you guys penciled in tonight. Take care of the Reds. I love you dearly, man. And God bless the Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right, take care, everybody.